Like a lot of people, I'm passionate about the environment and human rights, and particularly throughout my career, first at working for Oxfam and now working at the university, I'm particularly focused on manufacturing, and particularly manufacturing in clothing and footwear, the fashion industry. When I was quite young, when I was 19, I was in a student organisation and I went to Korea, which at that time was a military dictatorship. It was also at that time a major clothing production hub, not so much now, and we met with garment workers working in appalling conditions. And then when I came back to Australia, I was still kind of processing that, and then shortly after that the Cater toy factory factory fire happened in Thailand, where hundreds of people basically burned alive because the factory management thought they could control the fire, so they locked the fire exits because they were more worried about workers stealing toys during the chaos than actually saving the lives of the people. And they were, you know, that toy factory was making Bart Simpson dolls and so on for the, you know, for the Western market, for Australia and so on. So that just really hit me that, you know, we are connected without realising it really strongly with significant oppression, and that also awareness of that could potentially be a channel for change. So I've been working for more than 25 years on this issue, both as a researcher and an activist, so they can expect to hear, you know, some illustrations of the depth of the human rights and environmental issues, but also some ideas about how it can be solved that's built on a lot of research and a lot of study and a lot of experience. So hopefully that will be interesting to the audience. Well, this Waste for Wealth project is a good example of what I think needs to happen. It's working very much on the ground. It's trying to build relationships with all the stakeholders to the extent that that's possible. It's trying to identify how to fit into what you could call a kind of field of struggle. Like there's people who are suffering, there's people who are benefiting from the problem, who may or may not be willing to change, and certain levers may be able to persuade them to change. And this project is about meeting with all those stakeholders, working out what ways forward might be possible, bringing in expertise so that the problem can't be denied, and then trying to work with all the stakeholders to move forwards. And I think that's what needs to happen, rather than, you know, just coming from outside and telling people what to do. So I think it's a really good approach, and so I'm keen to support it. Well, I think what really stands out for me is that whatever clothes we wear, unless, you know, we make them ourselves, we are connected with a system that unfortunately is very oppressive, both to the environment and almost always to the people who produce it, whether that's in Indonesia or China or India or whichever country it is. It's an industry that's built on exploitation, and that means we are connected to that exploitation through what we wear, but it also means we, you know, as consumers and as citizens, can play a role in trying to address those issues and trying to support efforts to improve things. I think it's going to be a really interesting opportunity to find out about the conditions that the clothes we wear are made under, the impact they have environmentally as well as in terms of human rights. But it's also an opportunity to support an effort to address that in a particular context, one of Bali, which is very close to many Australians' hearts. Many of us have been there, enjoyed it, but not necessarily been aware of the impact we've had on it, either as tourists or as people who buy products that are made there. And it gives us an opportunity to think about how to give back and how to contribute to change.